the mercy seat? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the questionnaire. There is no mercy seat. I am the unknown factor, aka that Wade Wilson of hip hop. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, oh, for the second time, we've got somebody who laid hands on, well, my favorite character. That first one being Fabian. You can check out his past interview, right? It's already up. It's there. It was a pleasure. We need to get Fabian to come back because, I mean, he's always working on something crazy. But tonight, yeah, we got Martin. But see, look, I fucked it up. It's Martín Cóccolo. See, man, it's the American in me, Martín. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. What's
Americans
up,
are
UF?
assholes, man. What can we say? You know. I mean,
Yeah, no
that's
worries.
why.
No worries, man.
That's why. That's why. I mean, come on. Is there any other country that would take the Punisher symbol for its police force?
Uh, no, I don't think so. No, 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 no. That's quite fucked up. Yeah. I'm sorry to say, but yeah.
No, Martine. You don't have to be sorry at all to say those specific words. I it's nothing you should be sorry about. There's a reason if for anybody out there they don't know that there's an actual story in Marvel where Punisher gets shitty with some cops about having his logo on the car. Like, are you stupid? You don't do what I do, like so no, that's
Yeah.
nothing you gotta be sorry about. So it's my bad, it's not but look, I ain't American level, like, yeah, let the cops support have the Punisher. No, please don't. Please, I'll tell
No.
you what I would approve of more, Martine, is if they had like Deadpool's logo. At least they'd have to be nicer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Think
They
about
would
how
be much.
think yeah, think about how screwed up that is, man. I mean, you're doing the art for the current Deadpool arc, which has been phenomenal, Martine. I've enjoyed the
Thank you.
story. I've enjoyed the art. I've enjoyed everything about that, man. I've been a fan of Wade
Thanks, man.
since a long time ago. But to think that like he's a better role model for the police than the one they currently use.
Yeah. I mean, how about you don't use role models from comics in the first place, right? Like maybe you can take the job much more seriously and much more humane in a more humane way. So yeah, we can start there and work up. Like it's really messed up, really messed up. Yeah.
Oh well, and at least if they're going to though, like, couldn't they do like Superman, Captain America, like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I'd be
I
okay
mean,
seeing. Yeah, if I seen Captain America's shield on a cop car, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I bet that cop's cool.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
But you have to go and choose like the most like morally gray symbol, right? Like I mean, are you supposed to protect me and protect the society and community? Like really? I don't know. I think that's they need to do some more workshop around it. maybe they have to give it a little more thought. Maybe.
I, I wonder what the thought of the first police officer was that was like, I'm going to use this. Like, I wonder if they even knew who the hell Frank Castle was.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was cool. Like I don't know. But yeah.
No, if anything, Martine, I think they probably thought the same thing and the same reasoning that they used that symbol for Frank Castle, which is like, ooh, it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're totally off subject, getting way too political. I did that enough with Jason Coplin. You go check out his interview too. We go all over politics, man. But Martine, I want to know, uh, like, so you started out in Uruguay.
Mhm.
How did you end up doing comics? And like, were you still in Uruguay when you started doing comics, or did you move to America first?
I'm sorry, what? The last part?
Or were you still in Uruguay when you started in the comic biz, or did you
I
had
am
you
in Europe.
moved? Oh, you're still in
No,
Uruguay?
no.
I thought you'd
Yeah,
moved.
yeah. No, no, I didn't. I didn't. Mhm.
Well, how was that then? As far as and like we've had guests from all over, man, and it's a pleasure. And thank you for joining us from a great distance. Um,
Thanks.
how is it then in trying to get into the biz, especially to the level that you have, man, which is phenomenal. I think it honestly has a lot to do with how you draw. Um, you know, Um, but from there, you know what I mean? Because I mean, you worked with several independent publishers initially, then you ended up with IDW, then DC, and then Marvel.
Exactly. Yeah,
What
yeah.
was that
Uh,
journey?
I mean, it was fantastic. It was like all thanks to the internet, starting from there actually, because um, before the internet, people actually had to go there, you know, and you had to establish relationships like human like human level relationship in person, and then you could come back to, for example, Uruguay, and receive the script via mail, like actual mail, and read them, and it was a chore, an absolute chore. I didn't go through that. I was too young back then. So when I started to try and get better and actually take it as a career, internet was way more advanced and developed. I'm talking like I don't know, like from 2005 to 2010. I started back then.
So you have MySpace
So
around.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I just started I was working, helping another copy creator, and when I saw myself, like I was able to actually try and go for it. You just you just had to work on a portfolio, and then send those portfolios pretty much everywhere, and try to land a gig. So that's how it started, basically. And you start from like super 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 low level, unpaid stuff, or maybe paid stuff, like, but we're talking like cents, and you work your way up, basically. So that's what I did. I started in very small publishers, then medium publishers, then like the upper echelon, or call it whatever you want, the top tier. And yeah, just step by step by step, and trying to improve and get better. And even my philosophy was like, even if I don't get paid, I work really hard, because everything I'm doing right now is a portfolio for a future gig. So you start to get better and better, like putting an insane amount of hours per day, just working and working and working. Yeah, so I eventually made it, basically. But yeah, I
I
mean,
truly.
it's not like it's a lot of work, but it was like like a steady growth, like every year I would get a slightly better project, and I will enter slightly better publishers. So I started like year after year after year, I became better, and I landed better gigs. So yeah, I'm here now, basically. So
Real
that's
quick, on
that's
the note of something you send to everyone, I forgot to pull this out of my bag of tricks. Yeah. Um, because I gotta have that handy. Because we will get into this. I promise. I swear. I did. Like I had. We won't get into that. We'll get into that story when we get into Mother Trucker. That's going to be an upcoming episode. But as far as working up, man, I mean, I do understand that both from when I ran an online radio interviewing hip hop artists, as well as doing this show. As far as initially, I mean, you can't go and start and try to hit up Todd McFarlane. He's like, who the fuck are you,
Yeah,
dude? Like,
yeah,
go
exactly.
and go away, man. You know nothing. And I'm like, but I've been a fan. Yeah, that's not gonna
Yeah.
work for certain names. I did have the benefit of I ran a radio previously and
Hmm.
had already had Matt Hawkins on the show that we ran there. So I did
Mm,
have the benefit of being able to be the first episode of this being Matt Hawkins from
yeah.
Top Cow, which is
Okay. So,
which is a
yeah.
nice
Yeah.
it's a nice little look at that one. That's where I started.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
there was that benefit. But I'm curious with you, man. At what point in doing all of that, like, what was the first project that you got that made you go, "Ooh, I landed that"?
The first project was actually Magic the Gathering. Yeah. Yeah. When I got that project, which was how I got into IDW, I was like, yeah, man, this is happening. This is a big deal. So yeah, I couldn't handle how excited I was, and I did my best, and I worked in I don't know, like there were like many issues. I don't remember exactly, but we're talking like 20 or 20 something. Yeah, it was a lot. I work a lot of on Magic, and uh, when I was a kid, I played Magic the Gathering. So I didn't have much money, so I had like very basic starting packs, but I knew how big it was. So when I landed that gig, and they actually said like we're trying many artists, so please, they asked me to do like a couple of sample pages, and they said, we're gathering uh, many sample pages from many artists, and we're going to present those to Wizards of the Coast, and we'll see how that goes. And they picked me. So yeah, that was incredibly exciting, incredibly exciting. So uh, I mean, I was already working full time on comics, but when I landed the Magic the Gathering gig, I was like, yeah, this is going somewhere. Basically, this is I'm moving. I'm moving up. So yeah,
Oh
that that
no,
that was the.
yeah, I totally understand, Martine. I really do. Like, and first off, shout out to Rich Duke, who's also an individual that's worked on Magic the Gathering over there at IGW, and he just dropped the last issue of Breath of Shadows, issue 5. It's already out by the time this comes out. Look, I gotta edit stuff. I don't do this live, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the truth of it. I want to make it look nicer than that. Um, quick pause. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, sorry about that. And dogs gotta go. Dogs gotta go. What you gonna do? It's funny though, man, because that's the first time my dog's actually interrupted this show. She usually is gets me right before I start, and I have to ask again. Yeah, hold on one moment. Thankfully, y'all comic book creators are just real, real, real cool, man. But again, yeah, shout out to Rich, man. He's another individual who worked over there at IDW. Um, did what were your thoughts on what just happened at IDW, Martine?
uh, Oh, you're talking about the layoffs and stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I mean it's terrible. It's terrible. I just found out like one of the editors that I work with, like just got laid off. So yeah, I mean it's really really bad. I don't know all the specifics, of the situation. But yeah, it's really bad, really bad.
What do you think? I mean, because you you've worked for the two of the three top companies, I would say, as far as in comic books. You haven't. I'm amazed you haven't done some work for Image at some point. To be real honest, Martin, that kind of surprises me. But I mean, you jumped from DC and now you work exclusively with Marvel. We'll get into all of what you've done that in a moment.
Yeah,
um, but I'm just curious. What do you think as far as comic books and how they're moving nowadays? Because it seems like there are so many things that affect comic books that are outside influences, and then there are other things such as, a successful film or TV show that don't affect the comic book market like you would think they would.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's um, it, it's uh, those are they have they are connected, but they are separate enough. Different manifestations of art, to 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 say it in a way. Um, I think comics, they do have they do have they are a niche, and they have people who are they have fans uh, that hold on to comics for a long time. Um, yeah, and I just I mean, comics are great. Like comics are awesome. Um, but I do understand that nowadays we have like so many, so there's so much offer on so many things. Um, we used to have like um, a few movies, and few video games, and somewhat few comics back I don't know, in the 80s and 90s, and now it's like it's all is blown out. Like you have so many, so much stuff. Like if you want to be entertained, you have so much stuff to choose from. It's insane. I mean, it's great. I'm not saying that we should have less, or anything like that, but it's like so many things competing for your attention, and your money, and you have you have uh, uh, a finite amount of hours and time for you to I want to play so many video games, and I can't because I don't have the time. I want to read so many comic books, and I can't because I don't have the time. I want to read many books. So it's like it's exhausting, basically.
I
We
only
have
laugh,
so many.
Martin, because that is
Yeah.
so relatable. I can't even tell you. I'm sitting here like, man, I got comics. I don't know if y'all can see that like stack right there.
Yeah.
It's way shorter than it technically is because I got more over here too. But that's like some of my to read comic books, and then I got a book back here by Fabian that I still need to get into. But you're right. It's the fact that
Yeah.
time is finite and there's
And
way too many
comics,
options.
and nowadays, like comics are too many, too they serve two main purposes. um, One is to read them, and to have fans who follow creators, and enjoy the art form. But the other purpose is to develop movies from comics. It's like a factory. It's like a um, it's fertile ground for developing other stuff.
I gotta just based on what you said right there, man. I gotta ask you, and this is a conversation that we had in the past with Doug Wagner. You can check his past interview out as well as him and Doug, which is funny. Doug and Doug are going to be coming on this show. It's just Doug Dabbs and Doug Wagner. They just happen to share the the same first name, and they're doing Click Click Boom here soon. We're going to have them on here fairly soon to talk about their next image book. But something that Doug discussed on his first quest is that and I know Marvel. Obviously, they say they try to keep 10 years ahead of the MCU with the Marvel Universe. And that's entirely understandable with how successful that's been. There's no reason you wouldn't want to continue to make stories. But when you look at other people, especially people like that are just trying to make a comic, do you ever think that you see people that are trying to make a comic specifically as a movie pitch?
Uh, I've seen some people. I've had people come to me specifically saying that I have some connections in the movie industry and I want to do this comic and I want you to draw this comic because we are going to pitch it like a movie. I've had that experience myself. I haven't been a part of those projects, but I've had people specifically come to me saying that. I've known, and I also know other creators, other artists who have who have had those same proposals. So there is some people actually doing this specifically for that, but also you have creators who are just, I mean, if it happens, that will be great, but if it don't, it's okay too. I mean, yeah,
I,
I think there are many types of people and many I don't know,
that
many
answer
wants and needs.
that answer blows my mind a little, Martin, that you had people actually specifically approach you like that. Because
Yeah.
Doug had specifically said that he felt like there, I mean, he knew there were people that were just specifically for that, and they were just trying to make a comic to make a movie. And his opinion, and I kind of honestly rightly agree. I can't think of a comic that I've ever read that I was like, oh, they must just be trying to make a movie. But I don't know that I ever have, to be real honest. Mainly because I I stick with certain larger publishers. I mean, there's some other stuff that I've read, but I can't think of a time where um, I felt like I've read
Oh.
something and was like, "Oh, this is obviously them trying to make a film." Um,
Mhm.
but he feels like it affects the comic book industry as a whole negatively because it takes away from what comic books truly are. What's your opinion, man, as far as just people trying to
Um,
use the comic book industry for a market to create a film, and they don't really have a love for the comic book industry?
I don't know. I don't know if it is so black and white. I mean, I think there's people who are actually. It's really hard to make it in comics. You know, it's really hard. Really hard to be a creator and to have an idea. You have something on your hands, and you think that might be like the next big thing, or not the next big thing, but it might be good to develop it and make it a film or a video game or whatever. um, Maybe you enjoy many things at once. Maybe it's not every creator. You will have to see in their own hearts who is in who is in for specifically for money and nothing else, and who actually loves the medium and think that you can have like interconnected projects, you know, like a whole universe or a constellation of projects. And I think that's fine. uh, I don't know if it is specifically if one medium hurts the other one. Um, I've seen movies or or series or whatever that are based on a comic book, for example. And if I enjoy that, I might or books. If you enjoy a movie that it's based on a book, you might want to go and read the book later. So it depends on the it depends on the audience, on the audience members. Some people might be inclined to know all the other aspects of that project, or maybe you have people who are just they just watch a 1.5 hour movie and they move on with their lives and don't think about the source material. But
Yeah.
people like me, we actually do think on the source material and actually want to go and check it out. And maybe it's better, the book or the comic book, it's better than the movie, or vice versa. I don't know.
Okay. Now, based on firstly, I fully agree. I'm definitely that kind of individual. Like the only reason I ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is because the film. The book's better.
Exactly.
That's just the case of it. I couldn't tell you how many times that's happened in my life. But then there's been like
I,
reverses where like, huh?
like for example, you asked me like what was my favorite movie, and one of my favorite movies is Contact by Carl Sagan. So I watched Contact, I loved it, and then I went and read the book. And maybe if I didn't know the movie, I wouldn't have read the book in the first place. So it depends on the audience. Basically, it
Yeah,
depends on the interest of people.
yeah. And I mean that's the same with me with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's just a long freaking title, man. Um, but then
Yeah.
there's other things like some comic book movies where I love, man, your answer for didn't do the comic book justice, and you said
Yeah.
every Alan Moore
Yeah.
comic that have been adapted. And I think that's hilarious for the fact that let me see. That would let me see if I'm missing anything. You got V for Vendetta, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's been answered on the questionnaire as being the worst.
Before Vendetta was one of the first comics I bought. Like as I said, I used to buy TPBs because I wouldn't be able to follow month after month after month. I wouldn't get them in the first place. I would get like episode like issue 10, and then issue 16, and then
Oh.
issue. It was horrible.
Ugh.
So I couldn't when I was a kid, and I actually had a lot of time to dedicate to entertainment in general. I wasn't able to follow stories. I would have loved to do that, but I wasn't able to. So I would go and buy TPBs, and I would try to get like whole stories, because I would sometimes find TPBs like I don't know, episode 7 to episode 12, and I was like, I don't know what happened before, and I don't know what happens later, but yeah, I have fun with them. Uh, when you're a kid and you really want to read, like you really like with all your heart and all your mind, you want to read everything. I wanted to read everything, so I will read whatever fell in my hands. And before Vendetta was one of the first comic books I bought. I was like, I don't know, like 10 or something, and I thought it was amazing. And then I kept reading it over the years, and it got better and better and better.
That's a
So
serious book for a 10-year-old, I just gotta say.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I don't
But
even
yeah,
mean just the content or the depth of it. I mean sheerly the writing and the words, and then
yeah.
like that's a like.
But
Wouldn't it be nice?
it,
Wouldn't it be nice if all 10-year-olds could read V for Vendetta nowadays?
no, no. But you know
Well,
how it was. Like in the 80s and 90s. I would actually look for. Nobody gave a shit about it. Like you. As long as you didn't take like a full porn magazine, they wouldn't sell you that. but you could go and buy the comic books that said recommended for adult readers, and I will specifically look for those and take them home. So yeah, if you can, you do it.
Well, and I think that's man. We recently had Mike McLean on, who works for Coffin Comics, and he was telling a story about Brian Pulido and Garth Ennis, and he said it was when Garth Ennis was dropping Cross, and there were kids of like 8 years of age going to get. Now, have you ever read Crossed
I'm
by
sorry.
Garth Ennis? Crossed by Garth Ennis.
No, no, I don't think so. No.
Martine, it's fucking brutal. Okay, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like,
have to now. Now I have to.
like,
Crossed
like out of,
is.
and I love Garth Ennis as a writer. He's I think he's like, I mean, The Boys, like you said, is another one of those
Yeah,
shows you really enjoy, and that comic is
yeah.
phenomenal. Crossed is one piece of his work that I look at, and I've said this on past episodes, and I'm like, can just no one ever adapt this into a different medium? Like, it shouldn't be show, it shouldn't be animated, it shouldn't be a movie. It needs to stay a comic. Now, I'm not saying it's not a phenomenal comic. It is a phenomenal read, and there's a great deal of depth within it, just like anything Garth Ennis writes. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's just there. Garth Ennis is also. I think he's seen some shit. I don't like. I'd love to sit down and have a beer with him and be like, dude, can we just talk about your past? But then I think by the time I'd done, I'd be like, Jesus fucking Christ, Garth. you know. Uh,
Yeah.
but Garth, if you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome. But yeah, Cross is one of the pieces where any, like I said, you'd see 8-year-olds grabbing it. So I think that's something that still applies. Is it's easier to walk away with an adult comic, especially because parents don't realize. Parents,
Yeah.
for some reason, that's something like, look, if I take my kid into a comic book store when he gets like, he loves cartoons. That's the magazine he's really vibing because he loves cars. He's about to be 4 tomorrow.
Mhm.
He'll already been 4 by the time this drops, but at the time this is recording, his birthday's tomorrow. Um, Not that anybody will be able to figure out when any of that happened. Uh, that's the point. It's a quest. I am the unknown factor. Um,
Yeah.
but like, if I took him into a comic book store when he was like 10, he's loving comics. He walks up to me with like The Boys. I'm gonna be like, boy, no.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you got about 6 more years at least before you can read that book. Go put
Yeah.
it up now. You know, go grab some fucking Avengers and Spider Man. I don't know what you think you're doing, but no, right? Like,
Mm.
no, and I mean specifically Dave, who runs this month in comics with me. We've discussed that. Like, he's got kids to walk up and cross and such, and just grabbing things that they're not aware of. So I think it's funny that how much that still occurs. But like I said, so V for Vendetta, it's totally been listed on the questionnaire. Watchmen, oh my god, I think it's the most common answer for that
Mm.
question. I really, really
Yeah.
do. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's been answered for that question. You're the only person that's like fucking all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get the. I think for it's like you can only do so much. Every medium has there is a specific language, a specific mood, and atmosphere that you will enjoy reading a comic book that you won't get from a I don't know, a video game or a TV series or movies. um, and at the same time, if you are having a wonderful experience with a video game, you won't have that the exact experience like reading a comic or a movie or. So every medium has something in particular to said medium, a heart, a core that cannot be translated to other media, I think. um, yeah, for example, I don't know. I see people. I've never had the pleasure of playing The Last of Us. I had a wonderful experience watching the series. I think it's phenomenal. But I think that if I had the opportunity, I I will do it. Someday I'll do it. Maybe when I'm old, I don't know, but I'll do it. And
Wait. So all I know is, Martine, you're going to be in a nursing home. Somebody give me a PlayStation 5 and The Last of Us.
yeah,
Dude, they're up to like
yeah,
PlayStation
yeah, yeah.
30. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. um so for example, the experience I had reading Watchmen, it's it can't be put into words. I think it was fantastic. It's amazing. All reading the after the comics, when you read the excerpts from diaries, and you know all that, and then you read the comic within the comic, and it's the whole experience. I'm talking about it, and I get goosebumps. I'm talking about that stuff, and I get goosebumps because I can't put into words. So you can try and replicate the aesthetics of what Watchmen is, or Before Vendetta, but it's impossible to actually like fully translate it to a movie or a series or whatever. Uh, at least that's what I think. And and also, those comics are not meant to look cool. They are not cool. They're not cool. You don't have to you know that, for example, V is like super he's fantastic with knives, but he doesn't have to fight like in Matrix. You know what I mean? It's like
He just
you
stabs
don't
you.
have.
Yeah. He just makes
Yeah,
sure you get cut. Yeah, it's not a fancy move. It's a quick and
exactly.
stab and you're
Yeah,
dead,
exactly,
man.
exactly. So people feel the need. People feel like if they do it like in a more subdued way, it's not cinematic. So they want to make it look cool. Everything has to look cool, like super cool, and fuck cool. Sometimes movies don't have to be cool. They have to be deep. They have to make you feel things other than action. You know what I mean. So so making action movies about like Alan Moore's comics are not action comics. They do have they feature action parts, but they are not action movies. The action comics, I think. So when they make it into action movies, I don't know, man. I just I don't feel them. I
Man,
don't like them.
all I know is I used to have the Watchmen graphic novel. I don't anymore. Things happened, and I'll just leave it at that. And I really have come to the conclusion I need to reacquire it based on conversations I've had with, I don't know, 30 or so creators at this point, just about the Watchmen, because it's been quite some time since I've had the
Mm,
chance to sit and read it. Now I do vividly remember certain aspects of it because I think it's one of those that if you really sit and take the time to read it, it's not something that's going to leave your head. It's just
no,
it's
no,
it's it's not. And that's a mark of Alan Moore's work. I mean, there's
yeah,
something about him, and I would agree. You're right. He doesn't really write action comics. He writes comics that always have a deep philosophical point to some degree.
yeah, yeah,
And thinking about it truly right now, I think you're right, man. I don't because wait, well, yeah, I don't think there's ever been someone to adapt any of his work and really, really, truly get to the philosophical point of it. Like, I mean, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is very much just here's all these people that we're gonna throw them together and something crazy is
yeah.
gonna happen. Um,
Yeah.
though I do
From
enjoy that
Hell.
film for
From Hell is
moments.
also amazing. From Hell it's fantastic too. It's fucking fantastic. And the movie, I remember. I don't even remember the movie, but I remember thinking it sucks. Basically,
Okay,
I don't.
see, I've never had the chance to read From Hell. I have seen the film, but I don't really remember being that impressed by it. I
Yeah,
was just
but
like, I was like, oh, this
from
is
Hell,
based on a comic.
from Hell is fantastic. From
Yeah.
Hell, yeah.
Stop making my comic book store richer, Martine. Jesus Christ, man. I'm already buying your current book. What more do you want from me? Got the whole fucking run back here, man. You're trying to get me to go buy Alan Moore shit. Jesus Christ. That's proof, in my opinion, though, of one thing within comic book creators, and I love this personally, especially being a hip hop artist. And in hip hop, this ain't the case. Uh, but if you look at comic book creators, they're like, hey, you should go read comics, right? Now check it out. I'm making this comic, right? And
Mm,
blah 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 blah. And this is what it's about. But you should totally
mm.
just read comics. You know what I mean? There's never
Yeah.
I've never heard from any of the creators that we've had on them just running down another creator in any capacity and be like, fuck that, you should buy my book. Though I mean they
No,
do want
no,
to pitch their own shit,
no.
but they're always
Mm.
there's always just a very positive vibe towards the entirety of it,
Yeah.
man. I can't tell you how
I,
much I love that.
this is something that I've been pleasantly surprised because the comic community in general is it's incredibly welcoming and supportive, and every creator, we're technically competing with each other because there are a lot of creators and very few projects. So technically we are competing, but I don't know, we get along for the most part. We get along really great. I mean, I have nothing I've had nothing but an amazing experience talking with creators and knowing them all through social media and stuff, and they're like super I don't know, super supportive and uh, I've never met an asshole, like seriously. I've never met an asshole in this industry.
All I
I
know,
mean, it's fantastic.
I just want to see, because look, I'm a full believer in the multiverse theory, right? That this is a
Yeah.
universe stacked on a universe, stack. So I would love to just, and I don't want to live there. God, I don't want to live there, right? But I would love to just see the universe where it's like comic book creators, but with a hip hop mentality for some reason,
Yeah.
right? It would just be
Yeah.
interesting to see.
like,
I
like,
like I
like
said, I don't want to
dissing
part.
like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
dissing each other. Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to
Yeah.
participate. I don't want to live there.
Yeah, no.
But just to see it for like 30 minutes at a convention and be like, that's fucked up, man. Like 6 fights broke out.
Yeah.
The shit is going
Yeah.
on here.
Maybe it's because we don't make much money, you know. So it's like we're not like super ultra rich. I don't know. So
But
we're just
okay,
we're,
you
we're
say
we're
that.
just like super regular people actually.
You-
What I don't see is like celebrity mentality. You know, even with the most famous creators, it's like they're regular people. They know they're regular people. Like no one buys into the celebrity lifestyle, and that you have to be distant and kind of an asshole and just shit on other people. It's like, yeah, I mean, it every time someone writes something nice to you on Twitter or whatever, you're like, hey, thank you. I mean, you've made my day. I mean, why would I need to be in negativity when every day I get an huge amount of positivity? It's fantastic. It's like I have really, like, I have no complaints.
It
Yeah,
just
I'm from the bottom of my heart. It's true. It's
you
true.
really in Martine in that you make me think of being 15 and I mean and getting a chance to meet Stan Lee and just how he was. You know what I mean? And I mean at the time he wasn't as big as he ended up being because the MCU didn't exist. Like this is like just when Blade came out. And yes, Martine, you're right. That is one of the greatest Marvel films. Period. The first
Yeah,
Blade film. Look, look, look.
yeah.
Boom. Right?
Oh,
Right? If memory serves me proper, if memory serves me proper, this is from the convention that I met Stan Lee.
oh, oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like from the original. I don't
Fantastic.
know how. Look, with everything else that I've lost within my life and how chaotic it's been, I don't know how the hell I still have this
You
phone.
kept, yeah.
I don't know how it made it through everything. I don't know how it's still like in like I don't know how it hasn't been ripped to I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
I don't know, but
it
even your dogs, not even your dogs have gotten into it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
literally amazes me that that still exists. But yeah, I
Yeah.
had a chance to meet him, and he pretty much told his publicist, "Look, I don't care about the flight. This kid wants a picture," and that's like when he was leaving the convention. So, and I feel like that's like the mentality of a lot of comic book creators. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Michael Turner before he passed too, and I mean,
Mm.
even he took a moment. And he's like, "I only got time for one signature." So it's like, cool. I just bought Fathom #1, all three covers. I was like, dude, just sign your favorite cover, right?
Mm.
Signed all three of them. You know, like
Mm.
every experience I've ever had with a comic book creator, whether it be when I was at conventions when I was younger, running the radio, running this show, I can't think of one where I was like, dude, what an asshole. Um,
Mm.
which which is nice to be able to say because when I was interviewing hip hop artists, we'll just stop there. Um, Yeah, right. But what I want to know, man, let's get back into what you did. So you're running out, or you got that big break with Magic the Gathering. You're doing that. You've run 20 plus issues, and then you get a call from DC. I'm gonna assume
Yeah, exactly.
to go
I
to.
had I was um IDW wanted me to once the Magic was Magic the Gathering was done. They wanted me to work on Godzilla. I would have loved to do that, but I got a proposal from DC, and I took it. So because I really wanted to.
Look, look. I do love me the King of Monsters.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. All right. I can keep pulling background props all fucking day, Martin. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Um, all day, all day. I don't have a
Yeah.
Green Lantern, unfortunately, anywhere. Even though
Mhm.
out of DC, which I honestly was never a big fan of, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It just never caught my eye. I was always more of a Marvel guy, and then I got into the other companies beyond that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Just DC, but if there were a few characters from DC that I was like, ooh, Lantern was definitely one of them. You know. So,
Mhm.
I mean, what was it like to had the movie already came out at that point?
No. 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 No.
Okay,
Uh.
so it was before
Uh.
it got tainted
Oh.
by a
No.
fucking
No.
terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It was. Yeah. It had come out. Yeah. I believe so. It's many years ago, so I don't have it quite clear, but yeah, I think it had. Yeah.
that's like, and nothing against Ryan Reynolds. I'm glad he's.
Mhm.
Wait, oh my god, my brain just got that connection, Martine. How fucking weird is that to you? Have you ever connected that that you
No.
worked
No. No.
that you worked on Green Lantern? Who was Ryan
Oh.
Reynolds?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
currently
Yeah.
running Deadpool. That's Ryan fucking Reynolds.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I didn't make that connection. Yeah. Yeah. You're
I
right.
didn't until right
Yeah.
now.
I'm connected to I'm connected to Ryan apparently. Yeah.
Is he playing Thor next?
Who knows? Maybe.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I swear, if Ryan Reynolds comes in as a multiverse version of Thor, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be hitting you up, being like, Martine, what the fuck, man? Like, who are you? Do you know? So you know Kevin Feige personally, then, huh? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That's
yeah,
funny.
I never.
Yeah.
That's totally not where I was going with that. I want to point out, my brain just connected it in the midst of all that. I was suddenly like, wait a second. You've literally dreamed the two heroes that Ryan Reynolds has played in. All right then. Yeah.
Hmm.
But what was that like, man? Getting that call for Lantern, and then going into that, and then Sinestro as well. Like, cause that's like I said to me, that's always been one of the far more interesting characters in DC.
Yeah,
Like,
I had a great time working on Sinestro. Actually, I actually I liked it better than Green Lantern, to be honest, because I like to draw villains more than heroes. Actually, so yeah,
they always kind of got
uh,
that cooler look, man. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was fantastic. I loved it.
But okay,
Mm.
so we're gonna. I just gotta ask. Out of everything
Yeah.
you've worked on, what character have you enjoyed drawing the most at this point? And look, it
Um.
don't have to be no mainstream character. It can be a side character,
Yeah.
just the one that pops into your head that's like, ooh, this was just fun to draw.
I mean, I've done many covers, but covers is just one single image. Um, I don't know. I've had a great time drawing Thor, like in Banner of War, and now I'm working on Immortal Thor, and I don't know. It clicks, with me. It's like. I do have like a tendency to action and epic stuff, and if I get to do something dark, because there are some dark stuff there that you'll see later. So
He can't
I'm
tell us
having a
none of
great.
that. He doesn't sign an NDA, and we don't want the mouse coming to
Yeah.
kick his ass. Uh,
No, but I'm super reserved about it. So yeah, yeah, it won't slip. But yeah,
you're
uh,
not a Tom Holland on that
Thor.
regard. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, what?
I said you're not a Tom Holland in that regard. No way. I'm just going to get you to
No,
say.
no,
All right, all right.
no, no. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Thor has been one of my favorites. Yeah, I loved working on Hulk too.
Yeah,
Um,
can I just say that's not the answer I wanted, Martine. The answer I really
uh,
wanted to hear wasn't no
I'm
no no
sorry,
no no
but
no 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 wait. It's not what you think. The answer that I
oh,
wanted
okay.
to hear isn't what you think, because I mean, it's fucking apparent like what the obvious answer would be. I'm the unknown factor, Martine. I don't like to do obvious, man. No, the symbiont pet dog of his,
The what?
the symbiont pet dog of Deadpool's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Renesmee,
Yeah,
or I don't recall the other name.
she had
Uh,
what that dog had 20 different names, man. Wade couldn't
yeah,
make up his mind. Go figure.
yeah. I mean, I had a great time working on Deadpool. I mean, it's super like laid back, and you can explore alongside Alisa Wong, that they're always like coming up with these super crazy ideas and design for characters and all the stuff. So like what's wonderful about Deadpool is that I can explore like more tongue-in-cheek humor and just cartoony stuff, and just like cheeky like animes. I can like mix it with some anime stuff, and it's all great. It's just it's a lot of fun. you know.
Dude.
But I would be lying if I said that I've never been like a huge fan of. I actually I didn't know much of Deadpool, so I started to know more about the character, and just it's real fun. Like it's amazing. It's a great time, basically.
um, and look, we got Heather Antos coming up here shortly as well, and she, oh man, I'm gonna no, because I said it wrong, and I'm not gonna say it again, but it's the run by the author who's questionnaire. I don't have the fucking shit in my hand, so I can't even remember the author, but the one that brought him a kid and all that. So we're gonna be getting in depth with Deadpool, with Heather
Mm.
Antos, man. But at the same time, like Martine, you got to draw Cletus Cassidy getting born and then getting eaten
Yeah.
by a symbiote dog. Like, I'm sorry, like that because like I'm a fan of Carnage too. I think he's like
Yeah.
he's one of the crazier characters out there. But just the fact that it's like, hey, here's Carnage, and then you're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really excited too about that, because I was a huge fan of the
Maximum Carnage?
Spider-Man. No, of
Okay.
the Spider-Man cartoon. I was
Oh,
a huge fan. I didn't know much about Spider-Man back then. Like when it came out, I was like, I don't I would watch like the old Spider-Man cartoon
from the '90s that
with
ran with the X-Men.
five. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
No, but before that, I think it was from the 80s. Like the one show with the meme with the
Oh, wait, wait,
pointing.
so you're referring to the one that Spider-Man is Amazing Friends because it had
Yeah,
Firebird
exactly.
and Iceman in it.
I was a fan of that one, but
Okay.
then but then the one in the 90s, it came out, and I was like a huge fan, a huge fan. So and I was a fan of Venom, and then of Carnage, of Cassidy. So I was like, yeah, I get to draw him at least for like a couple of pages. Uh, and I made it as cool and as badass as I could. So for the very little time I had,
Oh
the
no,
pleasure of
just
drawing
and
him.
and with the way you did that and with the way Amy Wong wrote it, I was like, did they just bring? Because I mean, there was the Deadpool versus Carnage series a while ago, where Deadpool's just pissing Carnage off, for lack of a better term, because he's like, why do you keep showing up? He's like, because I'm Deadpool, you know. So part of me was like, did they literally just birth Cassidy out of Wade? And then it's like the next page, it's like, and then a fucking dog that also came out of Wade ate him. Yeah, it was a phenomenal moment, man, and it was really well drawn because like even the way you drew it and the way it was told and the way you drew it, I did not expect to turn the page and Cletus die. Like
Yeah.
that had me like,
So that was it.
what? What? Wait, what? They just, what just look, that was awesome, but I what? Like it was phenomenally done in that capacity, man. It really, really was. I I and it was, I mean, it was also hilarious. It was very
Yeah.
Deadpool in that moment. Um,
Yeah.
oh my god, I've really enjoyed that series, man. And shout out to Amy Long for what she's written and for the fact of how well you've laid out the story. Very, very interested to see where you're gonna take Thor. Especially with you saying you're gonna give him some darker moments and you're bringing back that
Yeah.
immortal Thor. All right,
Mhm.
what can you say, Martine?
I mean, I can say the typical like promotional stuff, but it's true. I mean, I'm having an amazing experience. I can't fucking wait to see it released. I mean, working with Al Ewing, it's fucking fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I love his run, his Immortal Hulk. it's amazing, absolutely amazing, and having the these opportunities, like I mean, it's a career highlight for me. It's really a career highlight. So I've been given this chance to take on this project, and yeah, I mean, I took it like wholeheartedly, like full on, like full on, like I'm ready. I'm here for it. So yeah, and I think it's quite strong. The quality of my work on this. I mean, it's maybe like one of the best things I've done. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. Like I'm working super hard on this, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I can wait until it's out.
Well, we might have to bring you back when that finally drops, man. I think
Yeah.
every time I bring a creator on, I end up having to add a damn comic to my pull list.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem. Like too many projects, and they all sound like super interesting. So in like I don't know. I mean, I am going to I'm going to spend a lot of money and a lot of time reading this. So yeah, it's kind of fucked up, actually.
Yeah,
But
in
it
all
is what it
honesty,
is.
I'd really like to see you take a hand at Godzilla, especially what I've seen with you in Deadpool, man. I think that would be very intriguing. Honestly, I'd really like to see you and Amy just take a swing at Deadpool. I think that, or a swing at Godzilla. I think that could be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean,
Like,
they would be fantastic
wh- why,
on that.
why has no one ever made Deadpool fight Godzilla?
I don't know. I guess we should try. I mean, so someone should do that.
Do you think
Definitely.
he could win?
No, I don't
All
think
right,
so.
wait,
No.
wait, wait. Okay, all right. Let's give him.
I,
Let's give him.
I,
How about
I
this?
don't see a scenario in which he could win.
Okay, okay. How about
But
this? With his pet symbiont dog, do you think he
oh,
stands a
okay, yeah.
chance?
Yeah, well, maybe in that way, yeah, he can.
Y'all
Yeah,
gave him the pet that makes him like. I think that's the funnier thing too. Like, y'all gave
yeah.
him a pet in that run that makes him so much more of a threat. And I don't know if they. I hope they let him keep that. I hope that becomes
Yeah,
just
I don't
a part of
know.
Deadpool because in the the invasion storyline they're about to start. I don't have the comic handy. The fuck is that? Because it's not Brian Bendis. It's oh, who is it? It's coming out from Marvel. It's oh, son of a bitch. Ah, the Ultimate Invasion storyline. Yeah, from Jonathan Hickman. There you go. That they're getting ready
Ah,
to
okay,
start.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
and then one of the subplots in it is uh oh no, it's not that, but that does look phenomenal. My bad. It's another issue there's about to start. Something about I don't know. They're having issues with mutants. It was sorry, it's something I read from Free Comic Book Day, and I read a lot of shit. And sometimes, especially with Marvel, it's like, oh, there's that, and that, and it's like, oh, there's that, oh shit, no, these are separate, and it takes my brain a second, just because the Marvel universe is meant to be like that, interconnected. But I hope they get him to keep that pet because somebody shows up to screw with his daughter. And I feel like if you give him a pet symbiont dog still, like it was already bad enough, because
mm,
like if you mess with Wade's kid,
yeah,
it's on, right? But
yeah.
if they let him keep that pet symbiont dog, and then you mess with Wade's kid, I think you just gone. There's
Yeah,
yeah, there's I don't want
yeah.
like you better be bringing Bruce Banner and General Ross both to the fight to come try and deal with him, and then you probably still lose, to be real damn honest, man. Right? How you just not gonna eat candy bars, Martin? Like at all?
No, I'm not into. I've like over time I've like grown out of sugar. Like basically, I'm kind of I'm kind of disgusted by sugary stuff. It's not something that I mean I didn't plan it. It's just it happened. I've realized that all the things that I enjoyed as a kid, like I can't enjoy them now. Like they are too sweet. Like super sweet for me, and I'm not into super ultra sweet stuff. I like sweet stuff. I like ice cream. I like chocolate, but not so chocolate that it's not like super sweet. And ice cream can be sweet because it's so cold that you can tolerate more the sugarness of the thing, the sweetness. But yeah, I'm not into candy in general. No, I've every once in a while, my daughter um, gives me something to try, things that I actually enjoyed as a kid, and I try them now. It's like, oh man, this sucks. This is extremely sweet. I hate this. And so yeah, I'm not really into candy anymore.
But you still dig The Simpsons?
Yeah, of course. But the older stuff, like the first 8 9 seasons. I'm
Oh, so
like
you don't watch the new
I'm
Simpsons?
no. It's like I don't I completely forgot they still exist. You know, it's like yeah. I mean, I I was like I was like addicted to the Simpsons, extremely like an extreme fan of the Simpsons. Um, I would get together with a friend who was exactly like me, and he had like all the episodes like taped, and we would watch the episodes time and time and time and time again. We could 100% reproduce every single fucking line of every episode with basically no like we wouldn't fail like maybe we will get like one or two words wrong, but it's like insane. I was insanely hooked on the Simpsons. I mean, I think the Simpsons are like the best thing that ever happened to television, actually. And I really mean this.
Right.
It was a breaking point in culture. They were like a disruption in culture, I think.
Real quick edit. So, right back into that, Martine. And do you think that was a positive or a negative thing?
uh
As
that
far as with
they
The
were so.
Simpsons.
Yeah, of course it was positive. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You don't think there was any
Like
negativity within
TV.
that?
t-
Just
I'm sorry,
curious.
what?
You don't think there were any negative consequences of that? Because it was at its time very counterculture. And I
Yeah.
mean,
No, I'm pro counterculture. Like 100%. Like 100%. I am anti-tradition, completely and utterly anti-tradition, and I just like things to break and new things new things to come out from those. Uh, uh, I'm like I don't want to get like too political, but I'm like extremely anti tradition, anti established things, um, and I think we need to rethink like basically our whole existence.
wait, first off,
So
You don't want to get too political? Come on, man. We started real political. Let's just wrap it up that way, Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we need to start to we need to elevate stuff like that are too down on the ground, and destroy. We are um, we we are like fanatics of greed, fanatics of we adore money, we adore millionaires and billionaires, we adore all that, um, and we need to fucking stop, man. We need to fucking like people are literally dying everywhere, uh, and we need to stop that. You
I,
know what I mean?
and then
Uh,
look, um, and one of the questions is, man, make three wishes, right? Yours was for
yeah.
peace, empathy, and the disappearance of greed. And I've had a past guest, I believe it was James Emmett, no more billionaires, you know,
Hmm.
because I'm a firm believer there is no one on this planet that's done $1 billion worth of work in their
No,
lifetime. You just
no,
yeah
you can't. You
yeah
physically you can't. You can't.
like
You have if you've made $1 billion, you've stolen labor from people. It's as simple as that. You've stolen the value of the labor from other people, from a lot of people actually. So yeah, I mean, you have not if you've made $1 billion, you didn't really make them.
so let me do
Some
it one
some
more time.
other people made it for you,
Let
basically.
let me do it one more time. I'm looking at you, Jeffrey Bezos, right? And that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're listening to this podcast on Amazon or Audible, I know he owns it. I don't give a shit. I'm still looking at you, Jeffrey Bezos, letting motherfuckers
Yeah, man.
die on your factory floor and never.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's funny I say that while this podcast is literally available on his platform, but I don't give a shit. What's he gonna do? Remove me from Amazon?
No,
Oh,
he doesn't really give a shit actually. I mean,
that's the
even
fucking problem.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, you're making content, even if your content is against his existence as as a billionaire. It's still content. He's still making a profit. You know, so it's unavoidable. It's completely unavoidable.
Imagine
Eh,
if all the content on Amazon suddenly became anti Jeffrey Bezos.
yeah,
How fucking
no,
funny would that be?
yeah, but the world will have to change a lot for that to happen. So no, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Basically,
I, uh, uh, I mean, that's why we make the music that we do, to be frank, and say the things that we do in the music myself and my brother DKB put out as Kill the Factor is because it's systemically, yeah, I had that right the worst time, or the first time. I said the worst time. It is the worst time systemically on this planet,
mm.
but it's gonna have to change to where, you know, I mean, we're barking more like my dog is at the billionaires until, but it's funny at the same time. Um, I don't understand how people don't look at what's going on right now and fully understand this has happened in the span of human history several times. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? A bunch of
Yeah,
people came into power, took all the
mm,
money, until eventually everyone got sick of it and killed
mm.
those people.
Yeah, yeah.
Aren't we supposed to learn from our history, Martine?
Apparently, we don't. We haven't basically. Uh, uh, there is something like I always say this. I'm 40 years old, and I grew up. Um, every everything that I watched, even movies, like even cartoons, like Looney Tunes. If there was one thing that was extremely clear, is that was that Hitler was bad. Like Hitler was a bad human being. He was terrible to all life on Earth, and specifically to Jews, but pretty much everyone who wasn't like an Aryan, blonde, 2 meters tall, whatever. Um, the, I grew up again, like even in Looney Tunes, like everything you watched, uh, someone was always laughing and making jokes about Hitler and how bad he was. Uh, there's a lot of people who loves Hitler. There's a lot of people who loves Hitler. So I'm like, if we can't all agree on that, if we can't fucking agree, if all of us cannot agree whether Hitler was a bad person or not, like we're just we're fucked. We're fucked. We're really like humanity is just I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so discouraging. I don't want to get like too depressing or too dark, but it's
I think
so
you already went past
it's
that,
it's a
Martin.
it's fucking exhausting, it's fucking exhausting. Like every once in a while you I see so many posts and so many, so many people online, like fucking fascists, man, like absolute fascists, like everywhere. Like it's like it's mind blowing. It's fucking mind blowing. It's like I don't know, man. What happens? What happened? Like really, what happened? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, it's sad. It's sad and depressing. It's absolutely depressing. It's like I don't know. Yeah. you,
Fucking
you you you
Christ,
you got it
Martin.
right there. Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Yeah. So those are the types of stuff. Like if you ask me, like I'm doing okay. Like I'm doing fine with my life. I'm working and I struggle like every other person, and I work really hard and I take care of my family, and I'm doing fine. So if you ask me uh, what wishes I would wish for, it's like, yeah, I would wish for I would wish for us to have to look to the future and be hopeful, and and have and feel like the future is bright. And I don't see that. I honestly don't. So
I'll tell you,
that's
and from like this question wasn't initially on the questionnaire. Hopefully, I'll have the Patreon page up soon, and y'all be able to check out everyone's questionnaires, and help me make sure I can run this show proper and better and everything. Support the Patreon when it gets up. Hopefully, hell, it might be up by the time it's fucking. I don't know. I've got shit to do. All right. But I'm also trying to make sure the show comes out all pretty and just it's a fucking process, right? But ever since I've added that question, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten real positive answers. You know what I mean? It's to the effect that you have, and it makes me think like, fuck politicians. Can we just put a bunch of comic book people in the Senate and Congress?
yeah, it would be much better. I can absolutely assure you that.
Look here.
Or maybe it wouldn't, because if you have so much power, people will maybe it's the nature of power that's wrong. So I don't have a real solution for that, but I do think that there are better politicians than others. I think there are honest people doing honest work, but they are just drowning in a cesspool of people who are bought, who people who are like lobbied to shit, and you'd rather have another pool in your home uh, uh, than than uh, than half of the country with water, like with clean water or something like that. You have someone who is willing to sign a bill for, I don't know, a oil company to destroy some land and destroy the people in that land, so they can have, like, I don't know, another Rolls Royce or another pool in their already huge mansion. So that's, I can't think of something much darker and much disturbing than that.
Okay. Well, then, can I just say, would somebody make me like dictator of the U.S. for a day, just for a day? Because here's what I'm gonna do. I'll be like the Senate and Congress. It's a bunch of comic book creators now. Lobbyists, they're not fucking allowed in Washington, right? They're just not. Yeah, that's right. You bark about them lobbyists, puppy.
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
you you said you
You
said
know?
lobbyist, and he
Yeah.
lost it. He,
Yeah, she did.
he
She got
fucking
mad when
lost
I
it.
said lobbyists, man. That's understandable because lobbyists are bullshit. All right. So a bunch of comic book people in the Congress and the Senate will make Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert the president and vice president. I don't care who takes what, right? And then no more lobbyists allowed in Washington. And I think maybe in that, maybe we'd have a chance.
Maybe,
Right?
yeah,
I don't know. I
maybe.
don't know. But Jesus, Martine, before this gets any more dark and depressing, right? I want everybody to know, right? Make sure you click the links in the description, right? You can find Martine. He's currently, I'm, by the time this is job, well, how long was your Deadpool run?
How long? It was 5 issues.
Really?
My
Oh, well,
run was 5 issues,
that's,
but the whole thing is 10, and I did the first five, and other artist, I can't remember his name, is doing the other five.
I don't want to dig through all that shit, but I got it. But that's beside the point, right? So you check out that Deadpool run. I'm sure I mean, they're gonna be dropping that in graphic novel. It's Deadpool. They drop everything
Yeah.
Deadpool graphic novel because it's Deadpool, right? And know that Martine has worked on both characters that Ryan Reynolds played, and that's kind of hilarious that we both sort of realized it at the same moment. Like, damn, bro, you drew the Green Lantern and
Yeah.
Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds was both of those. And that's just kind
Yeah.
of crazy, right? Make sure you check out all the links in the description. You can check out, get a hold of Martine. Tell him what you think of his work. Don't be an asshole, though. And don't be a fascist, right? Right? Fascist. But I'll tell you, if you did enjoy this interview, right, what I want you to do is I want you to send now, let me make clear, a friendly dragon to Martine, right? Just with the sword of omens,
Yeah.
Thundercats, Thundercats,
Yeah.
Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I suppose
Oh.
you can send them some hose, but I'm pretty sure you're married, right, Martine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I am.
don't send him the
Huh?
hose. Just send him the sword of omens via a cool dragon, right? Right now.
I mean, I can watch House. I can watch, but don't touch, basically.
So send him hoes that aren't grabby, bro. They're hoes. That ain't
Yeah.
gonna work. Right? Just say no to the hoe because otherwise you're gonna end up in trouble with your girl. You know,
uh,
you don't need that in your life, man. I'm trying not to cause you problems, but if for some reason you didn't enjoy this interview with Martine, right? What I want you to do is I come to the conclusion. You just send somebody from the Senate or the Congress, right?
yeah.
And that's really all you need to do is send a bunch of fucking politicians his way, right? And
Yeah.
that's I mean,
Yeah.
he's not gonna have a good
Uh,
day
uh,
of it. I'm not gonna have a good day of it. Everybody's just gonna be pretty pissed, you know?
yeah.
All right?
Exactly.
And that's the fucking case. But besides that, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Have a good night, y'all.